Welcome, everybody, to yet another episode of Pork Puck Hockey, where we talk hockey and only hockey. It's your host, JBACS, back here for yet another one. We got news all across the NHL right now and the hockey world. First thing, we want to give some condolences out as the oldest hockey player ever has passed away by the name of Mark Sertich. He died at 99 years old, but this man was still out there playing hockey recently. He just loved the game and strapped on the skates whenever he could, and we have some thoughts and prayers to his family, but man, 99 years old and still passing the puck around. What a guy. Next up, we have to wish a happy retirement to Mr. Mike Green. He was a great defenseman. After 16 years, he has decided to call quits. He played for the Washington Capitals, the Detroit Red Wings, and played very few games, but still played for the Edmonton Oilers. So we wish him the best. Have some fun with his family here. I know he's got a kid or two, so best of luck to him in retirement. We got some very interesting news out of Arizona. The Coyotes are being punished for violating the combine testing policies, and they'll lose a second-round pick this year and next year's first-round pick because of the issues in that. So, tough break for the Coyotes as they lose two assets there, essentially, because the draft pick would go to, obviously, a player there. And tough break, but, I mean, cheaters never win, so we got to see if there's any more to come of this, but for now they just lose two picks and they go from there. We got a signing. The Detroit Red Wings have signed Robbie Fabry for another 2 years at a AAV of $2.95 million. So the Red Wings seem to like his play since acquiring him this year, and they're going to bring him back for a couple more seasons, and hopefully he can get on board there with the young guys and get Detroit back into the playoffs, We have a firing. The Capitals have fired head coach Todd Reirden after 2 seasons and 2 first-round exits. He was the assistant coach with the Capitals when they won the Stanley Cup, and Barry Trotz was the head coach there. He recently lost this round of playoffs to Barry Trotz. So the Capitals will be looking for a more experienced head coach this time around. They don't want somebody who's, not up to par for these more veteran guys, and they want somebody who can bring in this good talent and keep it good. So we'll see who they bring in. There's some options out there, such as Gerard Gallant, Mike Babcock, and a few others. We'll see who they bring around. Speaking of coaches getting in trouble, John Tortorella. He is the Columbus Blue Jackets head coach. They recently lost in the first round of the playoffs, and he was in the interview, got asked 2 questions, got up out of his chair, and left. So he's going to face the nice fine of a cool $25,000. That seems to be the going rate of fines for coaches, as we talked last episode, I believe it was, about Rod Brindamore of the Carolina Hurricanes getting fined the same amount for his comments towards the referees. So coaches are not doing so well with their comments and other things. So, yeah, he got a nice fine there. Miro Heiskanen of the Dallas Stars. Let me tell you, the Dallas Stars are a team to talk about right now. They are hot. And Miro Heiskanen, one of their solid blue liners, is just the 8th defenseman all time to have 13 or more points through the team's first 10 postseason games. And he's really doing well. He's leading the way back there, making assists, scoring goals, doing what he can for the boys. So we'll see how far the Stars can actually go, and we'll get to the round updates and the stats here at the end of the episode, but thought we'd talk about that real quick. Next up, Marc-Andre Fleury's agent is trying to get the pot stirred here. He posts an image of a sword with DeBoer's name on it, as Leonard has been taking the reins for the Vegas Golden Knights. So I don't know if there were some communications between Fleury and his agent, but I think his agent's just mad because the Vegas Golden Knights are not playing him, and I mean rightfully so. Robin Lehner's hot; they're winning games, so why not play the hot hand? And DeBoer's got to be happy with that. And Fleury said he's just gonna ignore these things, and he wants to be part of the team. He'll probably be back to the starter next year. I don't know if Leonard will be around, but we'll see. I mean, Fleury's a great goaltender. Leonard's playing really good, so that's just how it's going to be. We had a big trade already. Pittsburgh Penguins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. They made a huge 6-player deal recently here. Kasperi Kapanen, forward, Jesper Lindgren, defenseman, and Pontus Aberg, a forward, will head to Pittsburgh. Kasperi Kapanen actually was an original draft pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins a few years back. So kind of interesting to see them go after and get him back so that they liked him. And he could be a 30-goal scorer if he's on a line with Crosby or Malkin. And they just make their teammates better. Toronto, they get in return Evan Rodriguez, who's a forward, Philippe Hallander, who's a forward, David Warsofsky, who's a defenseman, and they also get the 2020 15th overall first-round pick from the Penguins. Penguins, they got some good assets already, so not a huge loss, but, first-round picks are tough to come by, and the Penguins decided Kasperi Kapanen was worth that and get him back, and hopefully he can make some difference there. We got some news already for the 2020-2021 NHL season. Sorry, tough to differentiate there between the two dates. And it'll rotate all 31 teams in 8-game increments between 4 host cities, as COVID-19 is still a big part. The NHL has done a great job here in the playoffs. Still no positive COVID tests, and their bubbles have been working great. We do see some travel here at the end of the playoffs for the bubble, as the 2 remaining teams will meet in Edmonton, so one will have to travel from Toronto out there, and we'll go see how that works. Let me tell you, this is the year of the goaltenders in the playoffs. Semyon Varlamov goes back-to-back with goose eggs. He's playing great hockey lately, and he's doing well. I mean, the Islanders, they're forced to be reckoned with, and they got Thomas Greiss as their backup, so even if Varley were to go down, they'd be all right. Yaroslav Halak, he's been off to a hot start here since Tuukka Rask departed for family reasons. I think Yaroslav Halak has always been a good goaltender, and he's a little underrated, so him winning these games is showing Boston that he is here to party, and he wants to take them back to the cup here. And one last thing here before we hit your stats. NHL 20, or 21 I guess that would be, the EA Sports video game has released their cover athlete, and that will be Alexander Ovechkin. You can see those covers online on any of the social media sites for EA Sports. He's got a grade 8 edition, and it's pretty cool. And then he's got some pictures on there with the cup. Very cool. They always do a good job. I just didn't think Ovechkin would be back on it this year. So, being a Capitals fan, that's nice to see. And let's go take a look at how the playoff stats are looking right now. And we'll hit you with the NHL playoff round update here to end out the show. So, the stats. Nate MacKinnon leading the way with points, 18. Elias Peterson, we still don't know. He's got 16 points. Mira Heiskanen, told you to watch out for him. Dallas Stars defenseman, 14 points. Mikko Rantanen, 13 points. And Braden Point, 12. That rounds out our top 5 there. The goals leaders, Bo Horvat with 8. Joel Pavelski up there with 7. Nate MacKinnon with 7, Anthony Beauvillier with 6, and Nazem Kadri with 6 rounds out the top 5. The assist leaders, Elias Peterson with 11, Nate MacKinnon with 11, Mira Heiskanen with 11, Quinn Hughes with 10, and Gabriel Landeskog with 10. The goaltenders leading the way, Brian Elliott with a 1.47, Semyon Varlamov with a 1.5, and Carter Hart with a 1.86, as they are the only ones in the top 5 still active in the playoffs. Save percentage, Semyon Varlamov, 941, Carter Hart, 938, and Jacob Markstrom with a 925, and that rounds out the remaining players. So let's go take a look at the old bracket here. And we're already into the next round of the playoffs here, and we got the Philadelphia Flyers facing off against the New York Islanders. Their game number 2 is going to go on today. Then we got the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins in the other side of the series. That is a tied series, 1-1. Their next game will be tonight, actually. And then we got in the West, Vegas and Vancouver. We got them tied tomorrow. Look for their game at 9:45. And then Colorado and the Dallas Stars. We look for their game 3 in a tied 1-1 series. Oh, excuse me. I'm wrong. That is not tied. The Stars have won both games and scored 5 goals apiece in both games. So look for Colorado to rebound in tonight's matchup. So that's all I got this week. Make sure you guys please subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. JBACS out.